I'm Taco Cat CS. This is my friend and student, Clang. Throughout the video, I'll be asked a variety of questions from my friend who is new to CS. The majority of these questions are for beginners to learn the basics of CS, and some, they're a little bit more advanced, but it's nothing too bad. Thanks for listening, and enjoy 13 things every new player needs to learn about CS2. Also, just as a warning, I shout out a fair bit of sites in the video, but I'm not really sponsored by any of them. I just legitimately enjoy using these sites.
Right, Taco. So, first off, would you say is a trade up, and what can you get from it?
You know, a trade-up is when you exchange 10 skins of one rarity for one skin of a higher rarity. Trade-ups, they can be profitable depending on what skins you use for a trade-up. If you put a bunch in like random skins you unbox from a case in a trade-up, it won't be profitable, so you gotta use a calculator and be smart about it. That's the only way you can make money.
Okay. Another question about trade ups. What would you say are some good general everyday tips that could be used for trade ups?
You know, for trade-ups, you gotta make sure to get the correct floats, because even a small mistake can make a profitable trade-up just not profitable anymore. Also, you gotta make sure that all the inputs in a trade-up calculator, just make sure they're correct. Don't put them in a trade-up calculator wrong. But in the first place, just use a trade-up calculator, because they'll just make sure everything's, right. Also, you can't trade up souvenir skins. You just can't do it, man. Alright, if you buy a bunch of souvenir skins, you just wasted your money if you're trying to trade them up. Don't do that. Well, my friend said that. It's really sad, honestly, so just don't be like him.
All right, thanks for the advice. Let's transition to a few skin questions. So, what would you say is the best way to price skins? Like any skin.
You want to learn how to price skins? Really, man? Alright, well, if you're gonna price a skin, first off, I'd suggest going on CS Float and looking at skins that are similar to it, or like the last sold of that skin, because that'll give you, a fair baseline of how much the skin costs. Now, if you're talking about something crazy, like a blue gem, a cattlecraft, something you don't see in game every single day, what I'd recommend is you go on CS Float and you look at somewhat similar skins, and you see how much are they selling for, where are they listed at. You can get, a good general estimate, but there's no like 100% way to get the actual price of it.
Okay. Thank you. Next up, what would you say are some good budget knives for beginners to intermediate players?
There are a lot of good budget knives in Counter-Strike, but I'd say any Huntsman knife is a good budget knife. They have a really big blade, and the cheapest one is only $55. But if you're looking at like a specific knife, a Huntsman lore, it's a really good looking knife. Also, if you want like something more bright, Shadow Dagger's Doppler Phase 2. They're amazing, but they're a bit more expensive. They're almost $200, but they're very vibrant, and if you like something vibrant, get that. If you're looking for a budget knife, I'd just go with really any like Shadow Dagger, Huntsman knife, or something like that.
Okay. Next up, what would you say are good, like, overall any budget skins for people who are starting to play CS regularly?
For that, I'd say get an M4A1S Black Lotus. It's really good in my opinion. It's good, purple M4A1S. Also, another more like AK skin, it's AK Slate. It's another good budget skin. It's only $4 and field tested, and it's really good for making sticker crafts. Another, more vibrant AK is the AK Ice Cooled, which is $4 field tested. It's a really amazing kind of blue looking skin. It's a lot of colors. But again, these are just my personal opinions. If you prefer a different skin and you can afford it, go get it.
Alright. Next, let's go back to some trade up questions. Probably, just this. What are some good trade ups for beginners that are just starting out?
For that, I'd say, well, actually I found a trade up for that recently. I just realized that. It'd be amazing for beginners. It costs $1.60. It's really cheap. For this, you're gonna need 7 P2000 marshes and 3 Galil acid darts. Trade-up has a 145% profit. You make $5 on the AK, 60 cents on the USPS, you lose around 60-80 cents on everything else.
Alright, that sounds pretty good. Now back to skins. What would you say beginner players should strive to get, like, skin-wise?
You know, you don't really need anything fancy if you're a beginner. Just get a knife glove combo. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't need like a butterfly rupee. Just any knife in the game and any glove in the game works. But, you know, if it's possible, get something that looks nice. Get something you actually enjoy. Something like a huntsman lure and racing green gloves field tested. That's a great thing to strive for.
Next, a very important question. How would one avoid getting scammed while doing CS2 skin trading, trade ups, all that?
I've been scammed before, so I know how to answer this question pretty well, I'd say. Now, if somebody with a Chinese name adds you, or if they have no skins, or if they have like a Steam level of like 1 or something, they're probably a scammer. This doesn't really happen though if you have under $100 in skins, so you probably don't have to deal with this. But just in case you do, just make sure whenever you're logging into the Steam page, and you know, just make sure it actually says Steam. Because if it doesn't, it's just trying to steal your information. Make sure the URL, you know, it's legit. It doesn't say something like stem.com or something off.
Okay, thank you. Again, with the important stuff, what would you do if someone hacked your Steam account today?
Again, that happened to me before, so I know what to do very well, I'd say. Just don't accept any trade offers. Alright, even if it looks like it's your friend. It's not your friend, it's a scammer, a dirty scammer. Also, make sure to change your password and stuff, and like your trade link after getting hacked. You know, make sure a scammer can't like take your stuff. Also, you should contact Steam support too. You know, they literally own Steam, so they can help you in getting your account back.
Thank you. Next, how do I reliably find trustworthy sites in a reasonable amount of time?
Well, I'd say go on a site, it's called csgoskins.gg. Click on any skin you want or search it up. Once you click on a skin, to the right will be a lot of marketplaces that have the skin listed. As a bonus, it contains various pieces of information about the skin, like its collection, what container it is in, and other stuff that makes it especially useful in doing trade-ups.
Okay, thank you. Another thing about sites, what are some of your favorite and most trustworthy sites that you use right now?
If you're gonna buy and sell skins, I'd suggest using CS2. It's the cheapest site out there if you live in America or Europe. It only has a 2% seller fee, so that's good. Also, if you want to calculate your trade-up, use Tradeups. It's the best site. Also has new profitable trade-ups every Wednesday and Friday. For communicating with other people about CS2 skins, I'd suggest using Twitter and Discord. Just be careful and avoid scammers on these platforms, because there is a lot of them.
Okay, thank you. Another question. What would you say, from your experience, are the best skins for intermediate players with a good amount of money?
Well, if you already have a bit of money, you should get field tested AK Redline. It's a clean skin, it's really red, it's only $30. Another just amazing skin, it's the Op Asimov, it's $115 to field tested. You know, it's a really clean looking skin. And the thing is, it slowly increases the value over time, so you don't have to really worry about like going down in price.
All right, nice. So for my final question for you today, I'd like to ask what your favorite skins are, and if you had to start from absolutely nothing, like no skins at all, what skins would you buy first?
Well, probably buy like Firefly Emerald if I could afford it. It's my favorite skin of all time, really. It's so green, it's beautiful. I love it. Also, another amazing glove skin that's really underrated are Nox. They look good with every single knife and glove in the game, or knife and gun or whatever. Well, if I had to start from nothing, I'd be pretty upset because, you know, I have a lot of money in skins. But just get AK Slate, like Op Atheris, and just grow it from there.
Thank you.
That was 13 things every player needs to learn about CS2. Now, if you remember anything, make sure you know these 5 things. Number 1, use a trade-up calculator. Number 2, be careful of scammers. Number 3, CS Float, it's a great site. Number 4, CS2 is a game, it's not a job, so have fun. Number 5, and most importantly, like and subscribe. Comment if you want part 2.